Hello, everyone. I am here. I am Victoria Pruday. Happy to see familiar faces. Some of you I don't know, but we will get to know each other over the course of 1 hour. So my name is Victoria Pruday, as I said. I am an occupational therapist, psychotherapist, blogger, educator, but most importantly, I am a mom of 2 children. And even more important than that, I'm just a human being who faces exactly the same challenges as any one of us today. So thank you for joining me today. We have almost 200 people registered from all around the world. And I'm very curious to know what country you're from. So if you can put it in the chat so I can see where you're from. This time is quite fascinating. We are more disconnected than ever, but also more connected than ever before in our history. And I believe that that's the time to support each other and help us to get the best out of this time. So I would like to tell you a little bit about my belief about parenting. I believe that parents need to be a little bit of a magician. And my job is to give parents the tool to be the magician of their child's brain. I believe there is no child who is difficult. I believe that there are just some children who is more difficult to find the tools for. And that's my job and that's my role. And I also believe that there are no difficult times. I believe that every time is an opportunity. I believe that there is a silver lining in that coronavirus. And whoever follows me for, and familiar with my work, I wrote an article called "The Silent Tragedy Affecting Today's Children." For years, I was shouting from top of the roofs, saying that we took the childhood on the wrong path. Our children were overly stimulated, overly scheduled. They had no boring time. They had no outdoor time. Actually, they had less outdoor time than prisoners. And I was very concerned about their future. And look, there is a silver lining. Now, as we are back and we're locked in our houses, their life is boring. Their life is simple. Their life is actually now, a lot of it is what childhood is all about. Being simple, being connected, doing what's boring. So guys, that's why that's an opportunity for us to teach our children what's really important. And as you know, all the parents are overwhelmed today, and they don't actually know how to do it all. And we should not do it all. We should do what's actually important. And what is actually important, and that's what we are going to talk about today. And I will teach you how to do what's important. So if we look at the latest research, we know that 80% of our success in life is due to emotional intelligence, which is our ability to regulate emotion, socially communicate, our sense of responsibility and empathy. Only 20% of our success in life is due to the technological knowledge. That's the IQ. You will be surprised that 90% of top performers have high IQ, and people with higher IQ have better wealth, better health, they're happier overall. So, knowing that, we know what's actually important, the emotional intelligence. And here are the qualities that our children need to actually succeed in life. Independence, responsibility, motivation, self-regulation, social competence, perseverance, resilience, and organization. So guys, Many of you are concerned about academics and the fact that children have no school. Listen very carefully. Academics are just a very little piece of our puzzle for success in life. And here is an amazing quote. If a child can do advanced math, speak 3 languages, receive top grades, but can't manage their emotion or practice conflict resolution or handle stress, none of that other stuff is really going to matter. So what has happened to us for many years? We were in the rush to give our children top extracurricular activity to develop their math and English school. We were in a rush. But listen, now it's the time to give children what actually matters for their future success. And trust me, academics is very important, but leave it up to the teachers. And even if our children for a couple of months will not practice their advanced math, they're not going to be behind in the long term in their life. So that is our opportunity to nurture our children's emotional intelligence. And trust me, if not now, then when? Once it's all over, we will go back to our crazy, busy life. So that is our time. So now let's talk about how we're going to do that. And every family is concerned about how to find that balance. And what do we do with technology? Because again, if our children sit for 24 hours a day in front of technology, are we developing their emotional intelligence? For sure, we're not. So what children need? They do need structure, because structure makes life predictable. It calms them down. So here I give you an example, and you can download it from my YouTube channel or from my Facebook account. So children need schedule, and children need to earn their technology time. And at this point in time, many of you know how careful I am about technology and how much technology we allow our children. And at this point in time, you know, I think it's important not to focus so much about how much they sit in front of screen, rather than how much they do stuff other than the screens. So I can give you an example. My own son, he is 11, on a regular life, you know, during regular time, he gets about 45 minutes of technology a day. During today's life, I do allow him to have a little more, so he might have up to 3 hours of overall technology use a day. But he knows that when he wakes up, he makes his bed, brush his teeth, get dressed, help making breakfast. He eats the breakfast. He helps load the dishwasher. We go for a walk. He has a little bit of reading time, a little bit of free time, and then he gets half an hour of technology. So very important for children to have that structure. So there are different ways to create the structure. The first slide shows you how to break it really detailedly into their day. Another option, and again, you can see it on my Facebook, I shared a little video about that, is breaking it down into exercise time, helping time, learning time, creating time, and then there is your technology time. And inside each of the cup, there are lists of things, again, making this list together with your child to help them structure that time. And again, you can use, you see the timer? Over here, there is a timer that you can use, an oven timer or this kind of timer that actually shows children the passage of time. So you say, okay, now half an hour exercise time, you set the timer for them so they know exactly what does it mean, half an hour. And when it's half an hour of technology time, same thing, you set the timer for them. For younger children, or, you know, for families where life is not as predictable, so here is another version of a schedule. You can create a schedule just for an hour in advance. So you don't need fancy, printers for that. You can just take a white piece of paper or a whiteboard and write step by step what they need to do in the whiteboard. So the idea is teaching them to understand the technology, no problem. You will get your technology, but you need to work towards it. And when I teach children about technology, I teach them, you know what? Playing video games or, watching all those YouTube channels and all that, it's a little bit of, it's shrinking your brain a little bit. But if prior to that, you did important chores and tasks and you played independently and you help your parents around the house, you actually stretched your brain muscle. So that's okay. If you did this much stuff to stretch your emotional muscle and then you just watch a little bit of TV, that is okay. Now, another important opportunity for us, guys, is family meals. There is tons of research that tells us that children who eat together with their parents, they're actually more successful. So here is the time for us. Make sure that every meal or as many meals as possible a day, you eat together. And make sure that you have a safe where all your devices are going. Create a routine of technology-free meals. And not just for children, for all of us. We all should be at the dinner table without phones. And the ones who are the most addicted in your family, give them the key to be responsible for storage of all those devices. So, and imagine if 3 times a day we eating together, that's an amazing time for all of us to connect. That you will find all those activities, ideas you will find on my YouTube channel. Now, let's see. I wanted to share with you my favorite activities that we can easily implement at home. Get as many plastic cups, and I'm sure every family has, plastic cups. Make towers. Teach them to make a blue tower, green tower, and yellow tower. Take a little doggy and make them build a house for that little doggy with the tower, with the plastic cups. Another amazing idea that it's very easy to implement at home is your blanket forts. You remember when we were kids, how we entertained ourselves? Simple, simplicity is the key. Yes, give them tons of blankets, give them tons of stuff that, like towels, and make them build that fort. And you know what? After that, go inside that fort together with them, take a flashlight and read an amazing book. Now, another easy to implement at home, I'm sure every home has a masking tape. Make an obstacle course with the masking tape. That's a very simple, it's an easy to implement. Recycling material, don't throw it, give it to your children. That's how we played, guys. We had boxes that we were just building. Creativity, emotional intelligence, that's what it develops. Give them simple boxes and make them do garages and buildings and robots. Another fun thing to do is an indoor scavenger hunt. You will see it here. You just give them instructions. They run around the house to find it, and then you give them instructions to put it all back. Now, here is our gold. That's the gold for brain training. That's a gold for emotional intelligence. And guys, we were so busy in our day-to-day life, we did not have the time to train our children to do all that. Now it's the time. So I see thousands of children in my practice. Most of them don't even put their plate in a thing. They don't make their bed. They say, why to make the bed if tomorrow I come back and I still make a mess? So that is an opportunity for training the brain to do boring work. That's what our children need. So starting from as young as 2 years of age, the moment they actually have a release reflex in their hand, they can help around the house. So children, that's the opportunity to train them to make their bed, to do laundry, dishwasher, washing cars, setting the tables, cooking, cleaning up their toys, wiping the door handles from coronavirus. That's an important responsibility for them. But the question is, how we're going to do that? So the key is, we know that children like things to be playful. Now, who said that they need to play with toys all day? We didn't do it as children. We were actually helping around the house. But we need to be creative. That's the magic of being a parent. We need to transform those boring tasks, such as making my bed or doing dishwasher, into something fun and stimulating. So how are we going to do that? So let's say you want your child to make his bed. So set a stopwatch. Are you ready, set, go? Let's count how fast you make your bed today and make him compete against himself every next day. If you want your kids to do, let's say, laundry, put all the dirty laundry on the floor and make it into a math game. Let's pick up 2 white shirts. Let's pick up 2 yellow socks. Do you think children won't like it? For sure they're gonna like it, because that's the magic of parenting, to transform boredom into a little bit of stimulation. And in their mind, it's a game, but in our mind is a training of that muscle that teaches them self-regulation and dealing with boredom. If you want the child to do a dishwasher, not a problem. You say, I spy for red cup. I spy for yellow fork. I spy for 3 big cups. Make it into a game. That's your time. Now, if you want your children to clean up their toys, do you know that most children that I see, they say, sometimes I clean my toys. Do you know what it means? That if they say sometimes, it means that it's not their responsibility, which actually should be. So now it's your opportunity to train it. Amazing. Use music. Play a freeze dance. While the music playing, we clean up. Music stops, we freeze. No more cleaning up. Now go again. Music is on. Run, run, run. Clean up. Stop. No music, no cleaning. Use a flashlight. Turn off the light. Use a flashlight. Point to whatever toys you want them to clean up. Do you think children are not gonna like to clean up? For sure they will. Now another very cool thing, for example, washing. You make it into an obstacle course. You say your challenge number 1 is wash the door in the backyard. Are you ready? Let's run. Whoa, you overcame your challenge. Now your next challenge is to wash the entrance door. Whoa, you overcame this challenge too. So use sound, use stopwatches, use freeze, use flashlights. That's how we can convert that boredom into stimulation. Now, cooking is an amazing way to train math, science, literacy, everything you need. You know what's the reason for my son cooking 3 times a day? Do you know that I don't actually care about his reading or in those workbooks? All he gets is 1 hour of that, but he gets about 3 hours a day of cooking. Following the recipe, reading the instructions, staying on task. When else will I be able to train that? That is my opportunity. Now it's universal for any age. You can take a 2 years old to help you in the kitchen and a 10 years old to help you in the kitchen. So it's a universal language that speaks for any child. Now let's see what's next. Oh, how do I move to the next slide? This is your priceless opportunity to teach social skills. Do you know, guys, how many children today lacking social skills? Do you know why they're lacking them? We don't have the time to train them. We are in the rush. And used to be that children learn the social skills outside on the playgrounds. Where are the playgrounds? Where are our children going to learn their social skills? That is our opportunity. Again, emotional intelligence, key for success in your children's life. So that's your opportunity to train sharing skills. So what you do, amazing trick, you make a little heart shape. You know, you can use a masking tape, or you can use a carpet, or you can cut it out from a fabric, doesn't matter what. Every time your two children are fighting and can't share, you come and say, okay, guys, let's set a timer. You play with this toy for 5 minutes. When the bell rings, we run really fast to our heart-shaped mat, and we ring a bell and we exchange the toys. Ta-da! Don't you think your children would like to share? For sure they will. Why? Because there is a magic trick that teaches their brain that sharing is actually not too bad. Sharing actually can be really fun. So use the space for it. Use the timer so they know how long they're playing with the toy. And use a bell or something to actually stimulate them. So whenever they share, they ring a bell, each one of them, to celebrate their success. So another amazing opportunity for you now to teach children compromising skills. Many clients who come to me, Victoria, we're sick and tired. They're fighting all the time. Now imagine how much they're fighting now when they're at home for all this time. So again, every challenge is an opportunity. So easy peasy, all you need is a trick. So you get a dice. So let's say you need to decide on a movie, and everyone has a different idea about family movie that you're going to watch today. Okay, no problem. Everyone decides on a number. So from 1 to 6, everyone says a number. You throw the dice, number 5, the closest to that number, this is the movie that we are going to watch. So if your daughter said number 4, and your son said number 1, but the dice says number 5, you say, okay, today is your time to choose the movie. So again, it shouldn't be you, it should be a tool that magically tells them who is going to watch that movie. Now, another amazing trick that works for many, many children, straws, different size of a straw. So you hold that straw, and let's say they want to go, one wants to go to the backyard, another one wants to play a game. So you decide, let's say the short straw is going outside, the long straw is going to the backyard. You pull out the straw, or you make them to pull out the straw, whatever straw came out, that's the decision that we made. Again, separating children. So many parents say, okay, we separate them. It's not gonna resolve the challenge. It just postpones the time when you actually will start working on that challenge. Siblings who can't compromise at home, there eventually will be friends who can't compromise. So it goes way farther beyond the walls of our houses. So that's your opportunity. Now, another amazing opportunity for training here is waiting skills. People who follow my work know the biggest challenge of today's children, immediate gratification. I want what I want right now, in this moment. Here we come. Now it's time to teach them waiting. Now, I know that many parents are still working, and I was thinking how to help you. So here are some tricks that I came up with. So first of all, especially when you work, your children need even more that schedule and structure. And then you make them cards. So let's say you give them 4 help cards, 1 hard card, and 2 snack cards. So you know how they bug you all the time, I need your help, I need your help, I need your snack, I need the snack, I want a hug? No problem. Here you have the cards. So you can ask me for help. Let's say how many times you decide. 5 times, give them 5 cards. Every time they come to you, they bring you the card and you take the card away. This way you help them plan in advance. They will start thinking, oh, wait a second, I have only 5 cards. Should I use them all at once now? Or should I actually think if I need that help? Same with the hug. So this heart, yeah, they need our love, they need our hugs, they need our kisses. So we decide together with them how many of that you're going to have. So again, when they know, okay, I can come and hug my mom 5 times a day, it will allow you to work and to concentrate on what you need, because your children will know they will not be there every minute. It will space their time out. So same with snacks. Yes, we can't provide snacks all day long. It's amazing for children to wait, to delay gratification for snacks. So yes, we know that they want snacks, but you have 2 cards. You can get 2 snacks a day from me. So think very well before you come. Is this actually the time for you to start to ask for snack, or you can wait for a little longer? So that's the way to train social skills. Now, another very important skill for children in today's world, conversation skills. Do you know, guys, we were so in the rush for so many years that we actually didn't have time for talking to them, because we are all constantly one activity to another activity. We are stressed, they are stressed. Actually, I see many children that you ask them what's their name, and they answer their name, and you need to pull each and every answer from them. And we know that the key for success in life is having good social communicational skills, and it actually doesn't matter how high their grades are. If they don't know how to speak, they're not going to pass any of their interviews. Nobody is going to care about their grades if they don't know how to express themselves. So here we go, your amazing opportunity to train conversation skills. So you can go online and find conversation starters for family conversation starters. So here I made my own list. What you do, you cut it all out, put it in a jar, and every meal you pick up a card, and each one of you at the table is going to share answer to that question. So for example, if you could travel anywhere, where would it be and why? It's an amazing conversation to have with our children, especially thinking about once it's all over, where are we going? Now, I know that for many families, the struggle is that children interrupt. They don't wait for other person to answer. Now, I can guarantee you that telling them, stop interrupting is not going to help you, because that's not actually a tool. Because until you don't say stop interrupt, they will continue to interrupt. Again, you need to find a magic tool, and your magic tool can be a speaking stick. So get any stick and play a game. While I talk, I hold the stick, and then only I speak. When I finish talking, I pass the stick to the person next to me. Then only that person speaking. When we all done talking, we put the magic stick in the middle of the table, and whoever has a question is going to take the magic stick and going to talk. This magic stick has made miracles in thousands and thousands of families. Simple, but yes, requires training. So every family meal can have a conversation, and you would be quite surprised how much your children are going to learn about you through those conversations. So one of the amazing questions here, if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why? It's an amazing conversation to have with our children. Now, isn't it academics? For sure, it's academics, because once your children come back to school, they will need to write a little essay. So whatever they write, here is something that teaches them what to write about. Because many children today, they're struggling with ideas for what to write about. Here, we're helping them to get those ideas. Now, another very important skill is gratitude. Our children got so many things for granted. And yes, together we have raised an entitled generation of children. We all have to admit it. We did it with the best intentions in our minds. Here is the time to teach them to be grateful. It's an amazing opportunity to show them that actually everything we had, we never appreciated it. And here is our time to start counting our blessings. So there are different ways of doing it. You can have a gratitude jar, and as a family, at the end of each day, you write down what you are grateful for today. Or I found this amazing idea, and actually I have started doing it with my family, is making how you call it, like a guirland of every time, every day, every person in the family writes a note of what he is grateful for, and you connect it. And imagine how long this guirland is going to be by the end of our quarantine. So this is a visual way to teach our children, look, even during the most difficult times of our life, there is so much we can be grateful about. And teaching children during this time, every challenge is an opportunity. So yes, you see how we can't take takeouts anymore, but look, it's an amazing opportunity for us to learn to cook together. Look, we can't go to all those extracurricular activities, but that's an amazing opportunity for us to find what to do at home, and teaching children to be grateful for that. Now, so far, so I want to address children with special needs. And you know, my heart goes to all the families of children with special needs. I work with children with autism. I have a treatment center for children with autism. And yes, it's tough time for everyone, but especially for children with special needs. So I want to remind to all my clients and all the parents around the world, you know, it's just like a turbulence. And I keep talking about that. You know, even if your children during this time get a little worse than typically, or how they were before the coronavirus, it's just a turbulence. Once things will get back to normal, we will continue seeing their progression. So, and that is normal during this time to have a little regression. This is expected because it's a huge change, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Once things are back to normal, they will continue to shine. So this, what I find very interesting, that what works for children with special needs works for everyone. So I added some ideas here, but again, that's good for any child, especially sensitive children. So you see how now we are all in the same house and everyone is loud and too many people and nobody is going nowhere. Too much sensory stimulation. We're all going nuts from all those loudness and too many people, visually and auditory. Children with special needs are more sensitive than other children. So we need to help them to calm down. So how? Use calm background music. That's actually what I use in my house as well. Calm background music does just to down-regulate our senses so we all become calmer. And use that calm music as a barometer of the voices of everyone around. So I tell my kids, guys, if we can't hear the music, means we're too loud. We need to calm down. We need to speak quieter. So you can use that calm, relaxing music on a background, even for the entire day. Sounds of nature, any just relaxation instrumental music. Another important thing for younger kids or sensitive children, children with special needs, is to have their calm corner. So make that tent, put a little bit of light, so even no light, just a flashlight. Give them that space to go in when there's nobody in front of their eyes, just to have that quiet time. And again, you can structure it into their day. Another thing you can use that is very powerful, water, baths. If you have young children or again, sensitive children, children with special needs, get them into bathtub even 2-3 times a day. That allows them to calm down. It keeps them in one space. Put calm music on the background, dim the light. It will de-escalate their nervous system. You can read the book there. You can give them plastic cups so they can collect the same colors cups. Give them, those big spoons to spoon different toys. So you can structure it even for them to be in that bathtub for half an hour, twice a day. You will see it will make a big difference for them. Another important thing to use for younger children and children with, special needs is outdoor time. Again, we know based on all the research, outdoor time calms us all down. So if you can't go on a trail in the forest, and if you have a backyard, use that. So some of the great ideas are using a masking tape. You see, so here it's a masking tape and they were drawing with chalk inside the masking tape and then you remove that masking tape. Another thing that I really like is the water wall. You can go online and find water wall ideas. So just different bottles and they pour water and it all goes down and it creates that structure. So doing something outside. So, and I want to emphasize, especially for children with special needs, they need even more schedule and structure. Again, it doesn't have to be math and English all day. It can be cooking, sorting shopping, sorting socks, folding socks, playing together with mommy, reading a book, but it needs to be written down to them. And again, many of you who works with me know how I am very careful about the use of technology for children in general, but especially for children with special needs. And I can tell to my clients, you can relax. I give you permission. Even if your child who before did not use technology, now you have to give them, 2 times a day for half an hour watching a cartoon on TV. That is okay. We all need to survive during this time. Now, many have lots of concerns about quarantine with teens. And I think teens are the most difficult population to manage during this time. And I can tell you, I got probably about 100 emails from parents saying, Victoria, we're going nuts. What do we do? They sit in their bedroom until 3 o'clock. They don't come out. We ask them to go for a walk. They say, no, I don't want to go with you anywhere. Now, this list I made with my daughter. I told her, Bubachka, I need your help. Come here, let's help parents all around the world to know what to do with teenager. So this is approved by my daughter who is 17. So listen, first of all, guys, we need to understand for them, it's an extremely difficult time. They weren't prepared for it. More importantly, at this age, they don't want to be around us. They need their friends and they don't have them. And the only way for them to get connected to their friends is through technology. So show your empathy. Tell them, I hear you, I understand you. And today, during this time, choose your battles and choose peace where possible. If they don't make their bed, pretend you don't see it, because that's not the time to teach them. It's a time to teach making their beds, the younger kids, the ones until the age of 12, but once they're a teenager, that is not your time to teach them skills. If you haven't done it until now it's a bit too late. But you need to be with them, to show them, I understand you. That's a very difficult time for you. Now, try to get, not to focus so much on how much technology they're spending, but try to get them out to do things that anyways they're going to do, but do it together. So for example, sit down with them and say, listen, I'm not asking you for much. I'm just asking you to sit with us during meals. And when they sit with you during meals, make sure this time is positive. Don't start talking about you are in bed until 3 o'clock and your bedroom is a mess and you don't do your homework. Because otherwise, they're not going to come to sit with you at your dinner table the next time. Nobody wants to be beside negativity. And for sure, not teenagers. So during family time, the meal time is very important to talk about future plans and how, we're all going to overcome it, and share your experience about your childhood, about different times and how you overcame it. Give them hope. Now, don't forget, when things will get to normal, they will get to normal too. Remember the summer vacation when they sleep until 2, but then comes September and they wake up at 9? They can do it, but they need that. They need that structure for it. So when there is no structure, yes, they're going to sleep. Now, I asked my daughter, she's herself is not sleeping until 3 o'clock at night, and then even now, she's still sleeping. I asked her, tell me, what's that? So you know what she told me? She said, Mom, I'm going to tell you a surprise. I said, yeah, what's your surprise? What's your secret? She says that, while everyone in the homes are awake, we can't actually talk. Every time somebody comes into the room and everyone is, it's too loud. When everyone, all those elderly parents and all the baby siblings going to sleep, that's the only time when we can talk normally. So I said, Bubachka, now I understand you. That's okay. You can wake up later. That is fine. Now, another very important thing is to give them leadership roles. That's what teenagers want. They want to be leaders. So I can give you an example. What my daughter does, every day she is in charge of exercise program for the entire family. And since we have grandparents here as well, she needs to address needs of everyone. So that program needs to be very sophisticated. So she puts us all in one line and she does exercise program to all of us. So to me, as long as she is with us at the dinner table, as long as she did an hour of exercise and I see a smile on her face, I know she is okay. She can go back to her friends, back to her phone. Now, another important thing, connect to them through technology. So yes, what we do, family night movie. So yes, she is the one who is choosing the family night movie because I want her to be there. If she is not the one who chooses it, there is no chance. So the day, so let's say when 3 times a week, she is going to choose it, twice a week, my son is going to choose it. So just to make sure that those 3 times a week, she is there. Hopefully she's there for all 5, but at least 3. Now, TikTok, amazing way. She was doing a TikTok with her grandpa, and I was so happy for that. Again, she teaches grandpa how to use TikTok. Again, using that technology to connect with them. And with teenager, just reminder again, choose your battles wisely. And there is no way that we will use this time to make our relationship worse. Don't allow yourself to go on this path. And truly, the mess in their bedroom, the mess in their washroom, that is not your priority right now. We need to support each other. We need to work together. So, and again, that is the time for story making for generations to come. Do you know that what we're living through today, our children are going to tell stories to their children. Their children are going to tell stories to their children. And guys, the quality of this time, if we are able to maintain positive energies in our houses, that's what they're going to remember for ages. Now, unfortunately, with the increase in coronavirus, we also see increase in child abuse, in family violence. Now, guys, yes, when I talk about the magic of parenting, yelling, raising our voice, punishing, that is not one of the tools that are going to help you to train positively the brains of your children. And if you yell, if you raise your voice, actually, it has nothing to do with your children. It truly has to do with your self-regulation. And if you feel that you can't be positive, go to a shower, calm down, come back with a new energy. We wanted to be as positive as possible, because again, that's the time that our children are going to remember forever, and that's how they're going to remember us. Now, I want to answer some of the questions that I got. So some of them I answered already, I hope. And there is a question. So almost 6 years old child, not able to do anything independently, constantly dependent on mom for playing games, for doing arts, for doing homework. How much independent time should she have? So that's the reality of today's children. That's the life before the coronavirus that shaped children this way. They're constantly were stimulated. They're constantly were controlled. They did not have their quiet, independent time. And now we see the result of that. So what it shows that the child needs help self-regulating. Now this self-regulation is very important for her future success at school as well, because soon this mom is going to hear from the teacher that, you know, we find that your daughter is, you know, like she needs constant reminders to stay on task. So for this child, that is the opportunity to train for self-regulation. So the question, how much should she do it? If you were training it since the moment, you know, she was a year old, then for sure by now she would be able to do it for an hour. But since you haven't done it, then, you know, you can't expect much. But you should start expecting just a little bit, starting from 5 minutes. So let's say you give her an art project. You tell her, listen, here is a timer. I'm going to make coffee and I'm coming back in 5 minutes. You got the 5 minutes to work on your own. You come, you say, whoa, that's an amazing work. Now, can you make me a surprise? Now I'm going for 10 minutes. I'm going to, you know, to clean the counter. And when I'm coming back, I want to see it almost finished. Are you ready? That is the power of neuroplasticity of the brain. That's how we train the brain to work independently. So first of all, she needs to know exactly what she's going to do. She needs to have a timer or a time frame for how long she's going to do it. But if you expect her for half an hour, there is no way. Her muscle will not be able to lift it. So don't look at her biological age. Look at her self-regulation age. So for self-regulation, she is way younger than her biological age. So your expectation should be lower, but definitely you need to train that. So what I did for my son, who is naturally very dysregulated, he had a boredom time in his schedule. Every day we started from 5 minutes and we increased it to 2 hours. Initially, there was boredom box where were all activities that, more or less he likes doing, but so he knew today, my boredom time, 10 minutes, he sets the timer, he does something for 10 minutes. I say, Bubachka, you are amazing. Look, you did 10 minutes. Now, next challenge. Today will be 12 minutes. So he needed in his schedule. He needs to know exactly what he's doing. He needs to know the time frame. And teach her. Every time she does something on her own, it strengthens her brain. She becomes more resilient, much more stronger. Another question was about a boy, 4 years old, hitting, making mess, breaking things, so the mom was asking if he is seeking attention, and it becoming very difficult to manage him. So I am working for 15 years. I have seen thousands and thousands of children. I haven't met one who was misbehaving to seek attention. If children seeking attention, it comes from something from here. What it tells you, this kind of behavior, that this child is stressed out, he is dysregulated, and he comes to you as a pacifier to help him to calm down. What this child needs? Structure. He needs routine. We need to help him to be regulated by first keeping him busy to show him that, to be more balanced. So when I do this kind of work, I feel so much better about myself. I don't throw things around. I am a good brother. When he behaves this way, all you need to do is redirect him away from this activity, give him something else to do to calm him down. Now, just to let you know that those issues did not suddenly appear. They were always there. And I'm sure if you ask his teacher, you will hear that she's seen it in the classrooms. It's just that now at homes, we see a lot of the stuff that teachers seen always, but we didn't have a chance to see it because we were constantly keeping them busy. So what your son needs, schedule, activity. He needs a true occupational therapy. What it means, constantly doing something with his hands. So kids like her son have difficulty engaging themselves. They need ideas on what to do. And typically, once they start doing, they are okay. So for somebody like this child, still long way to go to gain this self-regulation, but punishing him for it, putting him in timeout, getting upset, giving him long lectures, not going to help. All we need to do is regulating his brain, keeping him busy. Now we still have a couple of minutes. Let me see if there are any questions here. Okay, let me see. I am not very good in technology. So any questions? No, yes. Oh, some people from Canada, Texas, another Canada, South Africa. Wow, that's amazing, guys. So what you suggest to do when siblings fight often? So what to do now, guys, you know what to do. You sit down with them and you teach them to play nicely. So you take a game, you first teach them how to play this game nicely without fighting. And then you say, guys, listen, make me surprised. I am going to be in the kitchen and I am listening. If there is no fights, you're going to get something very special from me. Hide, a little candy, hide a little something. You find the source of this fighting again, if they can't decide what they want to do. So you use the dice, teach them the tools of what they can do after. Again, the best way to prevent fighting, schedules, routines, so they're busy. When their brain is busy, there is no room for fighting. Now, I am more than happy to do this kind of session every week if you find it beneficial. you're more than welcome. You can write it on my Facebook under the today's session, or you can send me here in Zoom Messenger. Write down what topics you would like me to cover. One of the things I was thinking to cover next time is how to actually teach children at home. So even though we are not their teachers, but even that 1 hour a day that we're giving them, there is a way to do magic tricks so that 1 hour a day actually brings way more benefit and builds a connection time with you and them. Another thing I can do is communication. I find that now a biggest struggle in families is communication, because we haven't been communicating. Now we face the need to communicate. Again, we need the tricks and tools. Another thing I was thinking to do is doing a support group for children. If you're interested, also give me feedback. I run groups for emotional intelligence for children, and I teach them how to convert challenges into opportunities and how technology affects their brain and why chores are so important. So there is no endless opportunity for what to do. I'm more than happy to share my knowledge with everyone. And I think, again, that is our opportunity. It's our silver lining. We can use this to do things that we never had time for. It's our opportunity to reset the brains of our children, to stop them from expecting delayed gratification, constantly being entertained, not being independent, not helping around the house. If we all together work on that, we can completely change the future of our society. It's not just about children in our own houses. They're all little pieces of puzzles that eventually we can make a difference. And trust me, if you follow my advice, when your child comes back to school after this quarantine, your teacher is going to say, there is something good that you did to your child. He is now calmer, he has better attention on task, he communicates better with his peers, he has much better conflict resolution skills. So good luck, let's work on that together. Thank you for joining me, and write me down ideas and whether you are interested for me to continue doing this. I am more than happy to help anyone. In regards to generally my services, I provide consultation for parents all around the world. And all I do is I meet your child maybe for 10 minutes to talk to them. And then after that, I spend about 2 hours with parents, and I'm creating your child brain map. I can tell you about a lot about your child from that 10-15 minutes, and I will give you the tools to train your child's weaknesses. And again, all of us have our strengths and weaknesses. So the sooner we know how to train the weaknesses, the more successful our children are going to be. So again, it's all about neuroplasticity, brain retraining, and today it's our opportunity to use that. Thank you very much. I am very happy to have you all here. Bye-bye, everyone, and see you very soon. Bye-bye.